Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be watching the Mademoiselle, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and we will be talking about how our natural hair, whether you have locks or coily hair, is perfect for all occasions. Her full video will be linked in the description.
Like, y'all not about to make it seem like just because people have locks, just because they maintain their natural hair, or they wear their hair in a certain way, that means that they're bad people, because that's not what it should be.
I love seeing so many naturals online push back on this negative mindset that natural hair is not suitable for high-class occasions, jobs, or anything that may be seen as classy, elegant, or professional. It is very important that we continue pushing back this narrative that seems, in my opinion, to be upheld mostly by other black people. Some black people will look down on others for showing up everywhere with their natural hair or locks because they are used to seeing themselves go to these high-class places or professional settings with their hair covered with any other texture but their own. Since they tend to wear their natural hair when they are at home, or will not really pay much attention to the way their natural hair looks because they do not think highly of it, and so when they see someone who's not ashamed of wearing their hair because it is their hair, it is what grows out of our scalp, these types of people might react in one of two ways. The first one is the most common, I would say, looking down on the individual who chooses their hair or chooses to wear wigs or extensions that match their texture, and they assume they are broke because to them the straight wigs, lace fronts represent money and status, so anything but that they do not think highly of. The second reaction is jealousy. Some of these women will project their insecurities on you. Since they lack the confidence to wear their texture or even wear wigs that match their texture, they will try and tear you down, and they will attempt to take jabs at you for choosing to embrace your texture or for choosing to lock your hair. These types of people will try things like comparing you to men, especially if you have locks or short coily hair. As I mentioned earlier, they will call you broke. They will attack the texture of your hair even though they might have the same texture because they struggle to accept it. And so they might think you are also insecure, or they will try to make you insecure about wearing your natural hair.
People might be jealous of the color of your hair, the thickness of your hair, the curl pattern of your hair, the length of your hair, the fullness of your hair. Jealousy comes from a place of insecurity, of course, so it's not about you. It's very much about the person that's jealous, the person that's envying or wishing they had that kind of hair, or feeling insecure because they don't have that, or feeling like, they can't achieve that or can't attain that. They've tried ABCD and they can't do it, and so how is she able to do this? What's special about her, kind of thing.
None of these people's opinions about your natural hair matter, because if they truly were confident or content with wearing other textures and were content with their choices when it comes to hair, they would not feel the need to bring down another woman. They would not feel the need to talk about you and your natural hair.
Length in general is positively correlated with a woman's attractiveness. So the longer the hair, the more attractive the woman tends to appear in society. Many jealous people feel threatened to see another woman attain and benefit from this. So what do? They try to set you back they suggest you to do styles that are actually harmful for your hair. So your hair will break off and be more damaged, or they suggest you to do certain practices that actually will be harmful for your hair. And the reason why they do this is because they don't want you to benefit from that specific beauty standard. The thought of you benefiting from it makes them feel inferior, and they think it will make them look inferior.
These types of people are probably struggling with accepting the fact that here is this person who has no problem wearing their naturally coily hair or locks to these types of environments, and they are confident as well and probably treated well despite what some might say. Some might say that natural hair doesn't get you treated right by others, but here you are doing just fine. That bothers them. They are quick to assume that if they are insecure about their hair, then you must be insecure about your hair as well. So everyone else is insecure about having coily hair.
Oftentimes, these people are absolutely jealous and envious that you are able to embrace your beautiful, coily, natural hair through and through without the add-ons, extensions, etc. Because like this girl said in the video, the girls that were hating did not even have their real hair out. So they probably were hating on the fact she, again, is a very beautiful girl, beautiful skin, beautiful hair, and she has the rat tail, where she's adding her own flair. And these women are probably so insecure, like she stated in the video, that they are not even able to look at their own reflection without the adjectives such as suffering from hair dysmorphia, which we talk about all the time.
These types of people think since they have to alter themselves so much, so do you. And when you don't, they get upset and try to humble you.
A lot of it also has to do with assimilation, right? A lot of us want to fit in with the white people in corporate America, with our other classmates, depending on where we live in, especially if we live in predominantly white areas and things like that. We don't want to feel left out. If everyone has like long straight hair, if everyone has a weave, if everyone has braids or whatever, we don't want to be the only one with a kinky curly afro that's high to the ceiling. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with us not instilling confidence and instilling culture within our children, right? A lot of us spend so much time telling our kids to behave, telling our kids that, you know, they need to get good grades, and telling our kids not to worry about anything else. But you need to understand, our kids do worry about getting good grades and stuff, but our kids also do worry about fitting in, right? They're worried about their clothes, they're worried about their shoes, they're worried about their hair, they're worried about, you know, all these other things. And we need to tell them like, hey, listen, you live in a town where you're probably the only black girl. You know, if you're gonna raise your kids in these places where they're only gonna be the only black kid, which I would never do, I'm sorry, I would never raise my kid anywhere where they're the only black kid. It's just a recipe for disaster. Whatever, I don't know what your circumstances are, that's you. But if you're gonna do that, you have to educate them. You have to tell them certain things. You have to basically somewhat try to negate the problems that they're going to come through. And I feel like that's the problem number one. When you're raising them in these types of environments, it's going to be an issue because they're going to be made fun of. And when they're getting made fun of, they're gonna resort to, this hair is not okay.
It's very interesting to me when I hear some people say they want to fit in or be accepted when the conversation is about natural hair, which I understand but not fully understand. What I mean by this is that, one, you are very selective about what exactly you want to fit into. You are selective about which standard you want to fit into or assimilate with only when it comes to your natural hair, but nothing else. Why is it that you are not trying to assimilate by changing your skin color? Why is it just your hair? Why not change your name as well, so that it will be easier for whichever group you are trying to fit into, so that the people from that group can be able to pronounce your name? Two, you are trying to fit into a standard that was never meant for you in the first place. You can try to get as close as you can to that standard, but the matter of fact is you will always be black. Straightening your hair will not change that. Now, I am saying this to those who think straightening their hair will get them treated better and not seen as black as the ones who choose to wear their natural hair, or think that a different texture will make them look a different kind of black, a more acceptable black. Now, understand this, please. If you want straight hair, go for it. But do not speak negatively about natural hair because you struggle to care for it the way that it needed to be, and then started hating it because you couldn't get it to act like straight hair or looser textures. And to those of you who are trying to embrace your hair, it is important that you assimilate to your own people. Well, you don't need to assimilate because it's your own people. Try to fit into the standard that we as black people have. This is why it's important for us as black women to have our own standards, so that people or the generations that come after us don't try or don't feel the need to think that, in order for me to be attractive, in order for me to be confident, I need to look like somebody else. I need to have somebody else's hair. You do not need to try and look like somebody else to be beautiful, to be attractive, to be confident, to be accepted in society. Stop trying to look like someone who naturally does not look like you, someone who does not look like you in any sense, not the skin, not the features that you have, not your hair, anything. The people you should be looking up to for inspo or any other type of hair related goals should be people with your own texture, and I promise you there are plenty of them. We do not like anything when it comes to our coily hair, and that is also something you should understand. Your hair is beautiful too. I have a video where I talk about how somebody else's texture, the beauty of their texture does not take away from your own. And it's important that you realize that. The only way your hair or anybody's hair could be considered ugly is if you do not take care of it, if you do not style it properly. Just like how if a woman with straight hair does not care for her hair, it's ugly, it becomes greasy, frizzy, full of split ends. Beautiful hair comes down to the health and or the length, no matter the texture.
Throughout life, I've had times where I felt really high and really great, and people have like shit on me, and it's made me second guess myself. And I know there's a lot of you watching this who have felt the same, where you've had a lot of confidence instilled in you. You never felt any type of way, but then people just went and like shitted all over your happiness, shitted all over your confidence, and now you feel horrible. Is this the hair I should have? Okay, maybe I should go get my hair straightened like the white girls. Maybe I should go, do this. Maybe I should go do that. Maybe, and that's a problem. That's a real problem. Like, you need to be very, very careful. All of you girls and guys out there watching this video, be careful when you're sitting here saying things to people. You may think, oh, you're just cracking a joke. You may think, oh, well, I'm not bullying. That is bullying, okay? When you're making really slick and sly comments and making a little joke here and there, you're probably destroying your friend's confidence. That's not being a friend at all.
This is why you need to consume content that teaches you about your natural hair, your own texture. You also need to really pay attention to the people around you and how they speak. Why would you feel comfortable being around someone who speaks so negatively about how you were created by God? Why would you continue to tolerate people cracking jokes about the way you look every time they want to be funny around you or in front of others, especially in front of other people? They come for your hair. I remember when I was still back in school, I had this friend who was okay to hang out with, but every time they wanted to seem funny or as the funny friend, they would make jokes at my expense. They would always make jokes about my gap between my front teeth, and that would bother me because I have shared that I was being bullied for having it. I was insecure, and so other people would bully me for having it. And so as my friend, why would you think that it's okay to joke about my gap? I was able to leave that friendship because it really did feel like I was having lunch every day with the bully, and she was. Ask yourself why you hang around this person who always feels the need to crack jokes at your expense, especially if they know it is something you are insecure about. That's not a friend. That's not a real friend. Be careful of the people you surround yourself with. Be around people who want you to be confident, who want you to be better, to do better, to look better, not by telling you to change everything about yourself, but by helping you enhance your natural beauty. Like, hey buddy, I think we need to take care of our health. We should eat healthier, we should exercise, or hey buddy, let's figure out how to style our hair or try hair care routines. Real friends are the ones who want to enhance your natural beauty and not try to tear you down. If you had a true friend, that friend would, and they saw something about you maybe they thought you could improve on, they wouldn't crack jokes about it, they wouldn't make fun of you for it. Instead, they would, as I mentioned, try and bring up ways in which you could improve if there's any improvement that is needed, or if you also feel like I need to improve. But like I just said, the real friends are the ones who want to enhance your natural beauty and not tear you down. I would love to hear your thoughts about the clips and what I have shared, and I'm curious if you have experienced natural hair jealousy or have had a friend who've always felt the need to make jokes at your own expense, and how have you dealt with that, even if it's not related to natural hair. And do not forget to like or subscribe for more natural hair content.